All right, let's start then. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 2023 launch of Ask-a-CEGian. I'm Sangamitra, a 2021 graduate of CEG, and I'm currently a second year master's student at UT. So I'll be taking you through the program, its inception, what we're doing now, and our hopes for the future. So, Ask-a-CEGian is an initiative to bridge the gap between current CEG students and CEG alumni in North America. It helps current students by giving them access to mentoring, networking, opportunities, potential projects, internships, or career options. It allows alumni to be an active part of the growth of CEG students and shape their futures. The execution of the Ask-a-CEG program involves four main branches: the mentoring program, Gold, a database with resources spanning many categories for students, webinars, and the Asan seminars. And here is the link to our homepage. We'll put up the slides shortly for everyone to access, and the resources will be available. So the timeline for CEG is that it started in October 2019. And then by November 2019, we had about 22 mentors sign up and 77 mentees. In December 2019, the first students meeting happened, followed by Feb 2020, where the first two webinars were conducted. And then in April 2020, Gold had 5 authors. And in July 2020, the first mentors meeting happened. In August 2020, the website launched, and in September, we had a count of 37 mentors and 133 mentees that were registered at the time. In November 2020, we had 6 webinars conducted, and in December, we had 46 mentors and 137 mentees registered. Now, fast forward COVID, everything happened, but the facilitators at the time still stayed on board and attempted to keep the program active and revamp it, which brings us now to 2022, where in October, the facilitators meeting for the 2023 program got together. And now in December, we have about 58 mentors signed up and 195 mentees that are currently registered, and we're excited to take the program forward from here. So we have several mentoring categories over here. The program offers lots of areas. First being English communication skills, where the mentor can help point to useful resources, provide hands-on training, or any similar help. Next is interviewing skills, where the mentors can help students train for interviews in the industry, academic interviews, or any other skills required for acing interviews in general. In higher education, they can provide advice on how to get into the mentees' preferred universities, and also guide them about the application process and things that may follow. For technical guidance, the mentee might require help with technical subjects, projects, or any aspiring disciplines, or maybe even a change in disciplines, and the mentor can help out with this. For career guidance, they can help the mentee figure out their career path, guide them on potential opportunities, or offer leads if the mentee is looking for internships or full-time work, etc. And for entrepreneurship, if the mentee is looking to launch a startup or requires guidance with their current business or anything related to entrepreneurship for that matter, the mentor can help them out in that particular domain. Some things that we probably won't be able to help with are India-specific competitive exams, but I'm sure given our vast database of alumni, they can always point you to someone who can. So we do have 3 types of engagements. The first being one-on-one, which is going to be the most common because each mentor can sign up with each mentee can sign up with a mentor, and then they can have one-on-one sessions depending on their convenience. And then we have webinars where this might occur a little less frequently, but it will occur, and it has in the past. So this is going to help people, students and mentors alike, for specific topics. And then we can have project or team reviews. And if you have a set of mentors or mentees that have a common goal or want to do a group activity, these are great for that. And they can coordinate amongst themselves to plan these reviews. So as far as mentoring timelines go, we've got three. So one is situational, assuming a student has a question about anything specific and they need immediate assistance. That is definitely a possibility for short term. Let's say the student has plans for like 1 or 2 years of college and requires guidance for that. They can definitely reach out to a mentor, and it can also be a very long term relationship where there is continued guidance through college and maybe even the first couple of years after graduating. So from the student's end, all they have to do is go to our website, register for the mentoring program, contact the mentor to schedule sessions. This can be done through email or they're sending a LinkedIn message, and they just need to wait for the mentor to get in touch. And additionally, it would also be super helpful if they could provide feedback after each session. It'll help us, improve the program going forward in the future. And of course, we're always available for help using the email that we've just mentioned here. It's also on the website, and we'll be sharing it shortly as well. So as far as the mentors go, it's a similar process, but the signing up is going to be a little different. When you register for the mentoring program, you can wait to hear from mentees that may want to, ask for your guidance. And in some cases, the facilitators might reach out to you for a specific student or a mentee, and they'll provide introductions. And if you're okay with it, you can start mentoring the relationship. Next would be to mark yourself as a mentor for the student in the mentee Google Sheet. And this is just so we have a clear idea of who's mentoring whom, and we can always go back to that for reference. So there's a column K over there where you can update all these details. And of course, if you need any help or if you have any questions, we're always there to talk about it through the same email that we've mentioned. So next we come to Gold, which is our online live database. And this contains resources for, this contains a lot of resources across different topics for students and alumni alike. So the resources are related to two primary categories, which are career and personal. So what we wanted to do with this was sort of find like a common place or like a central place where people could access, all the resources that CEG alumni are privy to, instead of just doing a batch to batch communication for whatever questions that people may have. So this is it's an ongoing development, and ready articles are marked with a tick, and we'll share you the links for sample articles very soon as well. So the list of categories for career resources include MBAs, higher studies in India or abroad, campus placements, careers in the government, competitions, business, final year projects, English communication skills, internships, scholarships, women's resources. And as far as personal resources go, we have a huge, array of students in terms of diversity at CEG. So we've got day scholars, disabled students, hostelers, LGBTQIA plus students, mental and physical health requirements for students, and networking and development of soft skills. So these are all the things we hope to have up in the database going forward. It's definitely a work in progress, and we've got some already ready, like the networking and soft skills. So these are the people who've been actively helping out with this. Prashant Anantraman, Kishore Ganeshan, Sundar Jayaraman, Vishnu Vashat, Shanta Mohan, Karthik Shankaranarayanan, Kumaraguru Shivashankaran, and Vinay Venkatraman. So our next facet of this would be the webinars. And some past webinar topics include postgraduate studies in India, becoming a technical officer in the Air Force, civil engineering careers in the US, how to transition from an engineer to a research scientist, becoming a planetary scientist, engineer to marketeer. So plenty of opportunities if people are looking to switch career paths or trying to get a better idea of how to make that transition. And finding your voice or figuring out your path going forward. Um, and a couple of previous webinar topics have been how to choose my career vector by Bhaskar Ramachandran and what they don't teach you in engineering college. So these are our links for staying in touch. Like I said before, we'll be putting these up for everyone to have easier access to. Next, we have the ASAN seminar, which is the next facet of our program. So it's an academics-focused initiative of the Ask-a-CEGian program to expose students to many topics, projects, and lectures. So the objective was to expose students in CEG to role models that have graduated and are out there, and to also provide outside the textbook challenges, give them access to graduate research or provide a recruitment pipeline. And what we hoped for the program was to enhance the technical interests and capabilities of the current students. So the format would be in the form of a technical buffet per se, with about 2 to 3 lectures per week and 10 faculty from CSC, ECE, EEE, and IST. So these could be about a specific topic in the subject itself or any of the stuff I've mentioned before. So some of our past topics have included this introduction, programming, ML and computer architecture, computer networks, electric power systems, biomedical applications, entrepreneurship, and ending the program with a conclusion and providing the lecture slides online. We do also have our videos of past sessions on a YouTube channel, and we'll send in the link very soon for people to access. It's out there and can be viewed anytime. So the role of a mentor when you sign up for this would be first to be act as an advisor and a coach. So they'll your role would be to provide advice, guidance, and feedback, share your experience and expertise as you feel appropriate, and act as sort of a sounding board for ideas and action plans. You'd also be their primary champion and cheerleader to offer encouragement, support, for them to try new things, help mentees move out of their comfort zones, celebrate their successes, and help them understand when things don't go as planned. You would also provide resources and recommendations in identifying resources that will help mentees with personal development and growth, like books, workshops, or other learning tools. You'd also be encouraging mentees to join networking organizations or introduce them to new contacts. You would also have to play the devil's advocate or truth sayer per se, and provide really tough feedback that the mentees need to hear to move forward. So we're not just here to, provide all, sunshine and, sunny things. We also need to talk about the hard things to go forward, because that's what's going to help us ultimately in the long term. So push mentees to take risks whenever it's appropriate, help them consider and weigh potential consequences of their decisions and actions to avoid pitfalls and predictable surprises that may occur. So what are the responsibilities of mentees in this entire process? Being one myself in the past, I've been through this, so this is definitely um, useful to hear, which is take an active role in your own learning and help drive the process. You can also identify what you hope to achieve from this program, like initial learning goals and measures of success for the mentoring relationship. So it would be your responsibility to schedule and attend mentor conversations, because most of the mentors are, working and they'd be busy. So it's up to you to, keep the schedule on track. So primarily be open to and also seek feedback, because that's how we get better and it'll help you get closer to your goals, and follow through on commitments and take informed risks as they try new options and behaviors in support of career and development goals. So here is our facilitation team. I'm Sangamitra. We also have Balaji, Kumaraguru, Karthik, Khalil, and oops, sorry. And Shanta. So these people have been working for a long time. Balaji and I are relatively new to this, but the others have been here for a long time and they've been putting in such amazing efforts into making this program a success. And Balaji and I personally benefited from this program when we were students and we're currently doing grad school. So it's been of tremendous help, and which is why we wish to join in this team and help students who are currently there as well. Thank you. We're now open to any questions you may have or any thoughts or things you might like to share.
Thank you for presenting this, Sangamitra. And I think we have a number of people who are interested in seeing this program succeed. And there are a number of mentors and hopefully some mentees. So I invite all of you to join in, ask questions, be interactive. We have a very small group, so it's fine to ask questions, get some clarification. One thing that has changed from before, which is very near and dear to my heart, is the English communication. We used to have that as a separate program, but considering that this is all about mentoring, we have folded that into this program, and we will shortly be sending communication to those mentors who were doing English communication mentoring to join Ask-a-CEGian as well. And Karthik, you want to say a bit more about where you see?
Oh, thank you, Sangamitra, for presenting. Thank you, Shanta, for announcing about the English communication. I mean, it's all, we really hope students take advantage of the opportunity and make best use of the resources. And we are very grateful to see faculty members from CEG join in. We really look forward to close collaborations to see if we can be helpful in any which way. And one question, as I wanted to start audience questions by saying, are we planning any in-person sessions shortly, Sangamitra and Shanta?
When you say session in person, what do you mean?
Are we planning any visit to the university? So that right now we are doing this outreach online.
Yeah.
Will students get a chance to meet some of you in person?
Well, I am visiting India, and Dr. Shekhar has kindly organized something for me on the 17th of December. So hopefully there will be a chance to say something about Ask-a-CEGian. I know KG is already in India, so
wonderful.
Perhaps he can do it as well.
Maybe students can watch out for an announcement about that.
Yeah.
Thank you. We see a bunch of students as well. Any questions, comments, thoughts that you all have? And we have veterans. Aravindan from Alumni Mentoring Program is here. We are all eager to hear any thoughts you have to share.
Yeah, thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Shanta. So yeah, like you mentioned, the program that we had was for alumni, not for students. So there it was very situationally in there are 3 or 4 categories that you had mentioned, situational, periodic, and webinar. So ours was very situational. So where we had mentors who would, we would broadcast the background of the mentors ahead of time. It was a weekly, Sunday 1 hour session. And students or alumni can sign up for a 20-25 minute session with the mentor, specific mentor. So any question that they had that was situational in their life as it was happening at that point in time, they could ask. And then it was entirely a private conversation between the mentor and the mentee. So I believe some of that can maybe useful here too. I don't know what the sort of situational things you had before, but it could be helpful. For example, if a student was applying for a master's or PhD program abroad and they had some unique situation, it need not be a long-term mentoring relationship, but it was, I had this question, I don't know who to ask, can you help, kind of thing. And it may be useful for a mentor who had a experience in that, for that particular situation, so that's the sort of thing that we had. I'll hold off on it. I do have a question on, it looks like we have a potential synergistic thing that we could do with Knowledge Foundation. Uday is here. We both are involved in some of the things that I'll hold off on that question. Let me pause for a second.
Thank you so much, Aravindan. Indeed, there is potential opportunities for synergy, and a little bit of the one-on-one mentoring also has resulted in such situational sessions as well.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jane Helena.
Hello, Professor.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. Hi.
Hello. First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the wishes that you have sent me. Me and Rahima have recently, we have stepped into a role as Director and Deputy Director of Center for Alumni Affairs. And seeing from this PPT, I can see that this has been very useful for the students. There has been a jump of mentees from 70 or to, the number has almost doubled in a year. So it seems to be a very successful program. And we look forward to work with CEGian also closely in this mentor-mentee program. Thank you.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Professor. Certainly there is, as we have collaborations, we're so happy to, air our asks as well. We are looking for ways to do our next iteration of ASAN. And for that, we're looking for help with making this as part of our CEG's formal curriculum. So if there are any thoughts or mechanisms that we can evolve that, we'd appreciate it. And that conversation can be offline. We can absolutely, we'll be happy to schedule a talk or a session among ourselves to talk about it and figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
We also have, this is Professor Shekhar. Hi.
Hello, Professor.
So I think this nice that Jane and Rahima have joined. They have taken over the alumni relations and corporate affairs. And so I think this for CEGian also, I think we're that memorandum of, this thing is also pending. I think that also will be taken up by Jane now. So that's what we're also moving. And sorry that this is the first time I'm joining Ask-a-CEGian. So even though it has been there for long, I think Rahima also can just come in and then say something.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Rahima. So along with Jane Madam, we will be taking over next week. So as ma'am told, and this is the first time I'm getting to know about this program, and it looks a nice, good program to help the students like reach out and do things. Um, to have a kind of mentor is a really good thing that will help them go to the next level in their after graduation, because till graduation they know everything about the books, and after that what to do. I think this is a wonderful program. I think with Madam Jane we could see ways in which how we can collaborate and get the best out of both of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Students are there. I think it will be lovely that if one or two students join and then, share something. It's not a question of, asking questions. Now you are expecting something that also you can say. The students there, I see some 2024 completing students.
Yeah, Alifia, she's graduating in 24, I guess, 2024.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi.
I remember joining the Ask-a-CEGian program as a mentee last year, or rather during my first year.
Yeah.
And Shanta ma'am actually helped me find my mentor and establish a rapport with her. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
If there's any other students out there who are in this meeting, I would definitely recommend becoming a mentee here. It's helped me a lot. The people I've gotten to know and the advice I've gotten has been absolutely valuable.
Excellent, excellent.
Great.
So one of the things that I wanted to ask before was, as many of you might know, we have this Knowledge Foundation that is providing scholarships to the needy students. There's quite a bit of intake this year, about 40, somewhere around 40 students or so. And from the background, I have not talked to individual students, my college classmates there, they have in the process of selecting, but it looks like they could use a lot of help because many of them are coming from Tamil medium students. And so, like you mentioned, Shanta, English communication skills, we could help there. So one of the things is, how do we, as I, when I think back to college days, right, I'm very hesitant about reaching out, even though there might be a need, I don't know what it is like. So the initial starting trouble is always there. So I'm just curious about how you broke the ice, how you got this thing moving, and what we can do to help the Knowledge Foundation students make use of the opportunity that you have here. So that's one question. And the other question that we have is, in our batch, people who have contributed to the scholarship, they also have expressed interest for mentorship. You have a great setup here. We'd like to use the structure that you have here, and not reinvent the wheel, so to speak. So I'd like to look at opportunities on how we can we can make use of what you have here.
Thank you, Aravind. And in fact, if you remember, you had reached out about mentoring the Knowledge Foundation scholarship students, and we did that. Many of them, I wouldn't say many of them, some of them, asked to be in the program, and they were, and we could see who they were, and we could assign mentors if they didn't want to choose one. So it can work very well. I think what would be helpful is that from the Knowledge Foundation side, if they can encourage the scholarship students to say, hey, here's a resource for you, make use of it. And then perhaps we need to find a way to see how they are performing in terms of being a mentee and getting taking advantage. Are they able to do that? What kind of changes we may have to make in order for that to become better? We can absolutely do that.
Yeah. So do you happen to have, I know last time, like quite some time ago when you said there was, there was going to be some launch sessions at when the new intake for this year is going to happen, some launch sessions, you had like a Toastmaster kind of thing that was going to happen. So if when you have such events, is it possible for you to share it with us? We have, it looks like Suri, who's on the ground, and Gautaman, who's on the ground, they have very close contact with the students, and like so we can share it with the students and encourage them to attend. We just need to make these connections, right? Once students are familiar and they feel comfortable, they'll take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll make it a point to do that.
Thank you for the thoughts, Ravindan. I think one more, if I may add another point here. We've been very fortunate to have Khalil on the ground with connected to the students there. And he has been phenomenally helpful in trying to, whenever passing the information on about sessions or encouraging the students, so that on-ground support has been really, and whenever, for instance, Shanta and Sangamitra and KG are going to be in Chennai shortly. KG is already in Chennai, and these once maybe these happen once a year or once in a couple of years. But when they do, they are also very helpful in getting that ice broken. And you had mentioned on-ground support that's available in the CG 90 batch as well. And these connects could be mutual. If we'll be happy to connect you with Khalil, who is very immensely helpful on the ground. And likewise, if we can, we also in Ask-a-CEGian are trying to reach out better, because a lot of people don't know about it. And these outreach opportunities can be really synergistic if it can work that way.
If I am able to inject now, by next week, Shanta is going to be here, and I'm just planning to have 2-3 meetings for her. I'm making the day tight for her on Saturday. Actually, at 4:30 or 4 p.m., select alumni meet also being arranged. I think Suri and others, if they're there and here, they can actually join. So we can break many blocks of ice in that particular meeting. So I wish to invite many people who are interested in offering the support to the CEG students in many angles, so that they can discuss with Segana, especially Shanta, on that day. I hope that I'll be letting know more of information on that. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Professor.
Other questions, comments?
Any other student? I think they're over there. They're free. They're free. I think they should, feel anything. They can just simply say and say hi also to us. You need not say anything else. Just say hi to the people who are now just joined from US. So they're all interested in CEG. So if you just join and say hello, that should be fine.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Iklas from Civil 21 batch. Firstly, it's really great to see this happening, and it's really wonderful to see all my professors as well, Shekhar sir, Helena ma'am, and Rehma ma'am. Hope you're all doing well. So I reached out to a lot of professors, a lot of alumni after I finished out for my college in terms of helping to get referrals, to get jobs, and more career guidance. And I did receive them through the CEGian portal. Khalil sir was really helpful when he came. He guided me through a lot of stuff, and he did uh, push me out to reach out to other alumni as well. So yeah, this is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Iklas. Maybe another way to break ice with students is Sangamitra or any of our Pujita. You're all mentors and you've been giving back to the program as leaders. Would you like to share a few words about why you're doing that and how you chose to do that?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Pujita, and I graduated in 2020 from CG, and I came here for masters. And an interesting thing is that during my masters, I was a graduate ambassador, so potentially guiding students about the program and about internship opportunities. I was a graduate ambassador when I was doing my masters, and then it just randomly occurred to me that I was so out of touch with CG, and why not give back to the CG community? And because I went through the higher studies process myself, um, I just gained a lot of knowledge about various things in that process of applying for higher studies and career guidance and stuff like that. So I just wanted to give back, and that's why I joined CEGian as a mentor. And I realized that if that would be a small way of contributing. And at 4 years, I mean, 1 or 2 years after graduating from CG, I felt like I knew so much more compared to when I was at college. So if I shared my knowledge with students with CG from CG, I thought they can benefit. So yeah, that was one of my motives. And I really thank Shanta ma'am because I just approached her first, and I joined Tigana as a mentor, and then I'm so happy to be expanding my role from that. And I really thank Karthik now also. It's been super helpful, and Arun Subramaniam sir. They welcome me so warmly, and it's been pretty awesome being associated with Sagana and having this community and still being in touch. It's wonderful. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pujita.
Yeah, I think I could also share a little bit about my experience. So for current students, if you're thinking about, in what ways this can benefit you, I can talk to you about like a higher studies perspective. So when I was I did a 5-year integrated course in CEG at the maths department. So in about around my 4th year, I was planning to, prepare for my higher studies. And I was we know all the hard facts on the internet, right? Like, the application process and everything, but what does that entail? Like, what does an ideal applicant look like? How do you get into your dream universities? And how do you sort of navigate that? So I was initially planning to do a PhD, and I reached out to, again, Shanta ma'am. She's like a common denomination in almost all of our paths over here. So she pointed me to a whole list of professors of CG alumni themselves in universities in the US. So I reached out to a lot of them. And here's the really amazing thing I found. I had a list of about 10 to 15 professors. Almost all of them replied to my emails, even if they couldn't help out personally. They always had like great things to say and pointed me in the right directions. One of them, Professor Vijay Chidambaram, who is an alumnus of CEG, ended up being my mentor for the next year. So I worked on a project under him remotely while I was finishing my final year in CEG. And then at the end of it, he said he offered, for me to come to UT Austin to do my master's because he's a professor there. And now I'm a graduate research assistant at his lab. And it's been a wonderful more than 2 years of working with him. And also, this is just to give you all an idea of how, when you can start completely clueless in your undergrad years, and you wouldn't even think of getting into like a really top university, but with the guidance of like really amazing alumni, we can prepare and do projects, and even if it's just insights about the universities themselves, whatever sort of help you need, this is such an amazing platform that's going to help you to get to where you want. So, and I can personally attest to that, which is why, like, after I'm in my second year right now of masters, and I decided, like, more people have to hear about this, and that's why we're trying to sort of expand our reach. So tell your friends, we're starting our social media page. It's up there. We're going to be posting regularly. We'll put out the details for that as well. So stay tuned, and feel free to reach out to any of us if you have any questions. We can always point you to the right people. So yeah, looking forward to having all of you on board.
Thank you, Sangamitra.
Thank you so much, Sangamitra. Maybe if I can say a few words about the program itself. One of the questions or one of the concerns that have been raised in the past was, is the program really a shortcut way for draining the brain of CEG students and getting them out of the country? And we want to address that very clearly. It's that question arises out of a very important fact, which is that the most popular question in our mentorship sessions is, how do I apply to get to higher studies abroad, and predominantly to the US? While that is the case, the mentoring is far beyond the higher education itself on all aspects of the program. So one-on-one mentoring many a times, including my own mentees, it's really, probably many more mentees in India than the fraction that actually come to the US. And all the questions and the help that is sought and received is varied, and technical, career, personal, all kinds of aspects, where this narrow focus of higher education or going abroad is only a small sliver of what is being accomplished. At the same time, whether it's Gold, for instance, or webinars or Asan seminar, they're all about enhancing their student experience and knowledge, and giving back as a CEG community more than anything else. So it's I thought it may be worth spending a few moments because we have students as well as faculty members and alumni in this forum. Thought it would be good to address and talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah, the one thing that I wanted to add is that there are many batches who are having a lot of different mentoring programs in Chennai. And, this is just one other one. It just so happens that we could address some needs that we know more about than the others, applying to universities being one of them. But that is not the purpose of the program. It's really about giving back to CEG in any way we can. We are all sitting here so many thousands of miles away, and we like to be connected to our alma mater and feel that we could offer our experience and knowledge to the current students so that they can benefit. Others? And anybody?
I only remember that, like you say, Tattangal Thirakkapadum, Kelungal Kodukkapadum Mari. Ask-a-CEGian is that, like it's not only asking something or getting something also from that You know, like
Oh,
it's
yes,
very, as you
absolutely.
can see, the things, varied things are there. So it should be taken much more to the students level. I wish that it should be taken to the departments now.
Mhm.
Meet one or two. I think Bhagavani has joined our betterment, right?
Betterment group.
So
Yeah,
from EC. So like that, we could inject some more people.
yeah,
Through them, we'll take these schemes to them. That's what I'm also seriously thinking.
yeah. Thank
So
you.
next week when you are there, we're going to meet this betterment group. I
Okay.
may try to get in some more people also who are
Yeah.
already not there also.
Yeah.
So that I think it is going to be a very breakthrough tomorrow. I mean, next week. We are eagerly awaiting the here at Chennai.
I am too. I am too.
Yes. So if you can kindly excuse me, and you can just see, I will not remove the jacket from the Bangalore chillness. So it just landed at my home.
Oh, yeah.
So I wish all the best, and then like I'll catch up.
Thank you, Dr. Shekhar, for attending.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
KG, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to fix my microphone. Is it audible now?
Yeah. Mhm.
So I just want to add one point. I'm one of the facilitators with Ask-a-CEGian. One of the things I really think about being a facilitator is making it easy for others to also give back through this forum. So that is one of the key things that we want to work on, making it easy for people to on board as a mentor or come and deliver a course, or they could do a webinar so easily, so that we are always available to facilitate as easy as possible for them without having to go through a lot of other things about executing it. So and it also goes to the other side. We want to connect with the beneficiaries, like the students or anyone on ground. So having that collaboration and making things easier is one of the goals that we are trying to do. And we try to use different technology to do that. And we are hopeful in the coming year, we'll use more to make things easier. So that's hope I want to leave with for 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, KG. Excellent point.
Any other student who wants to say something? Kumaresh, you want to say something?
I was really hoping to hear from the students.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Shanta ma'am, thank you for organizing this. Yeah, I'm Kumaresh from the class of 2007. Computer science. I work at LinkedIn. I'm not too familiar with the application process anymore, but definitely eager to mentor students that are looking to find new opportunities, both in the US and in India.
Thank you. Thank you. Uday Kumar?
Good morning, everyone. I'm actually not in the US. I'm in Dharmaburi in Tamil Nadu.
Right.
But I'm involved in the Knowledge Foundation, and I'm kind of trying to see like what are things that we can actually collaborate with.
Yeah.
And I feel in the past, families used to be large, and people had role models, or like you could have contacts. Now most families have limited number of children. And I think the community takes up the role of providing guidance and providing information as needed. I'm very thankful for the organizers for doing this. And I'm looking for opportunities to potentially integrate these kind of things as part of the regular curriculum. We do hire people from CEG to a limited extent, but I have not seen people who have participated in the program or who know about these things. So that way, I think we could do with a little bit more amount of publicity among the student community.
Yeah.
I'm also a member of the CEGian Connect, like organized by another group.
Yeah.
And there also, the organizer mentioned that, the program was meant to actually provide information to students, but most of the people joining seem to be, people who have graduated and alumni. And my pet theory is that, when they are students, many are not really thinking about starting a business or being a CEO person. So maybe there is not as much awareness in connecting to that.
Yeah.
But the topics which we have discussed here seem to be very relevant. And I think we could do with a little bit more amount of publicity to these things. And if we collaborate, I think it will be a good thing.
Yeah.
And I look forward to working with everyone. And personally, I'm trying to see how we can take up these programs to other colleges as well. See, for example, there are now government colleges in all the districts.
Yeah.
And personally, I feel that there is a lot of gap in the experience and exposure of the faculty members in these colleges. So many students from rural areas, they join these government colleges because the fees is less, but they don't get really the benefit. I personally know a person, there is a bit of, not a bit, like quite a significant amount of faculty shortage in these colleges. And there was a person who is actually in the government college Dharmapuri. There was like a lecturer who was not a faculty member, but only a consolidated pay is given a fixed thing. And that person was doing a lot of work, but he could not, really, he had no exposure to the outside thing. And in spite of all his good intentions, the students were not being exposed to. See, for example, I run a software company in Dharmapuri, and I try to invite people for internships to our company, and people don't even apply. The students are not even applying. They are afraid to talk in English, or they think that it is too complicated. And that way, I think I'm kind of looking forward to, CEG is like a starting point, or, a better faculty who are able to appreciate the value of these kind of interactions. And, my hope is that in 2-3 years, we can actually make it part of the wider Anna University or wider set of government colleges, so that we can actually make a bigger impact on the overall community. That is basically like a deviation from what we are talking today, but that is one of the reasons I'm basically looking at, I'm attending many of these programs, trying to understand how these interactions work. And thank you very much for all the organizers. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Uday Kumar, and thank you, Kumaresh.
So if nothing further, maybe we can wrap up.
Absolutely. Sangamitra, would you want to say a few closing words before we wrap up?
Yeah, sure. So thank you everyone so much for attending, professors, students, and alumni alike. We really hope this is a platform to connect all of us and have a more, have a space with more communication, just a lot more transfer of knowledge, regardless of what it is. Like, I know Karthik mentioned that it's not just about higher studies, and absolutely, I couldn't agree more. We've got, so much to offer, like the alumni, especially, people who've been into different parts of the world, who accumulated experiences that could be invaluable to students. It's a really great platform to sort of bridge this gap and bring everyone together. So I look forward to connecting with everyone, being a part of the same community here, and really just expanding CEG's name and taking it into the future. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.
I just noticed Vish. I think.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Wherever you are. I'm in the US.
Yeah.
A quick intro about me. I passed out from CEG in 1994 to 98, BE Mechanical. I did my master's in EMS and I'm settled in the US. I lived in California, but I moved to Texas now.
Okay.
And I'm happy to contribute in whatever way I can to as an alumni.
Yeah.
Or what are possible ways you need help from me, I am happy to help.
Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you, Vish.
Kavita?
Hi, everyone.
Many didn't speak, but I hope everybody got something out of this.
Thank you, Shanta.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.